So let us look into this fundamental way in which we can create a matrix by making use of cbind function, right? So cbind function just combine a series of vectors. So it will form a matrix column wise. So what do I mean by that? So if we have cbind, for example, we're using this function and say first we want to create this matrix, right? It wants to start from 1 to 3, right? So this will represent the first column. So let's look at this. So this will be the column, right? So starting from 1 up until we reach 3. So if we are looking for a second column, say now we start from 3 to 1. So now we will have these results of a matrix. So it has combined this vector of numbers starting from 1 to 3 inclusive, and also this vector of numbers starting with 3, 2, and 1, right? So we can also keep on adding and say, let's create another vector now, say 2, 4, 6, right? And say we just want also to have a series of ones in that column, so we can use a rep function. Remember that uh, we want this entry repeated 3 times, right? So now we have added another 2 columns, column of this vector 2, 4, 6, and a column of another vector that repeats this element, which is 1, 3 times. Let's run this, and we have our matrix. So what happens if we use cbind is that the matrix is created in a column-wise manner. Say for example here it looks into this first argument, which is this vector. So it's say 1, 2, 3, right? So it has created this matrix in a column-wise manner. But now let's say we want to create a matrix, but now we want to be using in a way of a row manner. So how can we do this, right? So we can use rbind in that case. So I'm going to create the same matrix, but now I'm going to use rbind. So our output is going to be 1, 2, 3, and then we in the second row is going to be 3 to 1. So it's like a transpose of this matrix when we use rbind. And now let us run this. And as we can see, this is now 1, 2, 3, 3 to 1. So we have now read this in terms of rows. There is another function that we can use to find a transpose of a matrix, which is simple just t. Okay, so let's say we had that first matrix, so we can simply just use t function to find the transpose. So as you can see, this is the transpose of that first matrix that we defined. And if we can also find a transpose of this last matrix that we defined using rbind, so this is just another way in which we can find a transpose of a matrix. So next, we want to see how can we create matrices by making use of a matrix function.